Hey, folks, and welcome back to That Local Guitarist. This is going to be our third episode, and we're going to be starting a quick little mini series. This is going to be our first learning episode, and we're going to be going over what I like to use for my track layouts, my plugin routing, some stuff like that for when I'm writing songs. I say mini series because to make this a little more fun, I'm actually going to use a song that I'm writing for my band. So we'll take a look at that real quick and then we'll get to it. So right off the bat, if you haven't noticed already, we're going to be using Reaper for pretty much everything. And the first thing that I like to do once I have just a general melody and a beat in my head, go ahead and open up a session, set the tempo, and I like to go ahead and throw some kind of drum beat in there, whether it's something I program, whether it's just a generic pre-programmed MIDI track, just something to add a little spice to it. I find that helps with transitions, writing different parts. You're looking for that last bridge or whatever to complete the song, to tie the verse and chorus together or whatever, stuff like that. So I like to do that. I'm using Superior Drummer, and that's all pretty standard. So we're gonna kind of skip over that. The one thing you're gonna notice is that we have a lot of colorful stuff going on, and that is just because color coding is the easiest way to identify your tracks. In Reaper, you don't have separate buses. You create folders for that you can drop other tracks into for your bus. And I like to just go ahead and throw whatever plugin on stereo, have 4 separate tracks. They're all red is panned left, blue is panned right, both 100% hard. The reason I do this is just if you want to make any adjustments to the tone or anything, you do it on one plugin, it's done. You don't have to change presets or anything like that. Makes it nice and simple. The reason I have 2 tracks under each one is this is all for the writing process. So maybe some of these are parts that you're not 100% sure what you're doing with yet, and you want to audition some different parts. So that makes it real easy. You just mute one track or the other, and as you can see on the display, that changes what's being output to the plugin, what you're hearing. I find that works really nice, and then once you've got what you want, you just hack and slash and splice it all together, and you're good to go. It's pretty simple. You just make sure you crossfade everything, and you'll be fine. If you're working on an older computer that's a little bit slower, then maybe you're going to be better off doing these separately, because doing bus processing, especially in stereo, for some plugins, it requires a lot more processing power. But your mileage is gonna vary. It depends on what you're using, what computer you're using. There's too many factors to really get into about that. And the reason that I have these set up like that, like you'll notice everything that's labeled is in gray. And that's because I color code each instrument, and then the folder or bus that it's going to, I leave in gray, and that makes it nice for when you're looking through for your mixing. It makes it really easy to identify which ones are your buses. So you can see here, there's no processing going on the DI tracks at all. Nothing. And there's really not a whole lot going on here anyways. But like I said, we're writing, this is not final production. So it doesn't need to sound perfect. It needs to be good enough for everybody to have an idea of what's going on. Another important thing to note, if you're working with other people, your band, whatever, put a click in the beginning of the track. It's real simple in Reaper. You can just insert click source, and bam, just like that, you've got a click track going through everything. This one dropped in on the lead tracks for some reason, but you can move that around. That just makes it easier for anybody who's going to be working on it. People that are trying to learn it. It gives them a count in, so that's always nice to know when you're starting, and the song doesn't just randomly start 3 seconds after you hit play. That's kind of hard to work with. And that's kind of how I work on everything. So let's go ahead and I'll show you real quick how I set all that up in a new session. So here is a brand new session. There's nothing in here. I've already got all my track templates set up and everything, but I'll show you real quick how you can set up a new one. So in Reaper, Control T, so we've got 5. So we're going to go ahead and Control left click all 4 of these tracks. We are going to drag them underneath, and now this has become our bus. So we can color these ones. We'll make them red. We'll make these 2 blue. And then since we have both of them highlighted, we'll go ahead and pan 100% to the right. And then we'll get both of these 100% to the left. And put in our guitar plugin. You can load up whatever preset you want from there. This is normally, so that's just a quick. Normally, I would put G-Tune or something on there, but Omega happens to have a tuner function built right in, so that saves us that. So then, what we'll go ahead and do, we'll highlight all of these. So you can Control left click all of them, or you can click on either the bottom or top track, Shift and left click, and that'll highlight everything in between the first click and what your mouse is currently hovering on. Right click, and we will save tracks as template. And we can go ahead and put theirs in there as test template. So if you've got that, we'll go ahead and create a new project. And now next time I've come in here to do this, you can add in your new track for your click, insert track from template, test template. Bam, there you go, all your tracks right there. Conversely, another way you can do this if you've got a more refined setup. So let's go ahead and close this project. Is to just create a writing preset. Here we go. A whole folder template. So I have this, it's called writing preset. And when I load it up, it's got Superior Drummer, it's got a lead, a rhythm section, it's got a bass section. We've got an extra track for a click. And then as we go, we can add in synths, vocals, whatever else you might need. So first thing, as soon as you do, you open that up, save project as, and we'll make this video 3. Why not? So now that's video 3, so we'll go ahead and close that. And we can still go back and we've got our writing preset project. So every time you open this up, it is a blank session with all of your plugins, your guitar tracks, buses, your whatever drum plugins, all your effects. If you've got anything on the mastering chain, you should probably have at least a limiter or something on there. And I find that to be the most effective, because you can bring this up, set your tempo to whatever you want, and you're off and running. You can start programming your drums, you can start recording guitar parts. That's just what I've found to be the most effective method to have something that is pretty much ready to go 100% of the time. So thank you for tuning in. This was a quick little overview of my writing session. If you're interested in learning more about what you saw, then please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, go like the Facebook page. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you guys stopping in, and I hope you enjoyed it.